a Pete Primeau fan.
Thank you for having me.
Your fans are like...
What an honor to be here, Pete. You're a legend. You're a rock star.
I'm a legend in my own mind, said my wife.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm Mr. Selling from the Heart. What's this guy, Larry Levine, going to teach me about selling from the heart?
You are one of the most generous and authentic people around. And I think that's why you and your show are so attractive to people.
Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show and happy President's Day. Inside our customers' buying decisions with Jeff Giagnocavo and Brent Batterman, episode 265. I can't believe it. Welcome back from vacation, Jeff. And before we do that, I just want to pay the bills really, really quickly. Everybody, if you haven't bought my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? If you want to get more door swings, this is the book. More profit, more door swings. It's a business and a marketing book. If you want a sales book, I've got a sales book for you. As a matter of fact, two of my fellow authors are with us. Miles and miles of retail selling greatness, over 2 million miles driven. I don't know how many miles flown. 43 years in the business at the time I wrote the book, now 44 years. I asked myself one question after I read my first draft: what's changed? And I said, I need to bring some other people in here, like Brent Batterman, like Jeff Giagnocavo, Justin Trumbo, Mark Klingenberg, Randy Thompson, Steve Carnes, Scott Vaughn, Chris Tahaney, Keith Cassinguy, and Mel Opp all contributed to this book, making it something special. If you're a sales manager and you need to do a weekly sales meeting, this could be 3 years worth of sales meetings in your hot little hand. So order it on Amazon today. And thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Brent, for contributing to that book in major, major ways. What else we have? Oh, thank you to our sponsor, Mattress Industry Network Group, Steve and Greg. We appreciate you. If you want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in the mattress industry, don't do it by yourself. Join the group. I don't even know how many people are in here, pushing 3,000. If you want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in the mattress industry, hit that QR code and join the group. It's 100% free. It's a Facebook group. And I will tell you guys a funny story about me joining it in a little bit when we bring Jeff on. Chris? All right. It's very rare that I'm waiting for Chris, but if you are a Mattress RSA and you have a story where you helped a customer have a better quality of life, great outcome, we want your story in the new book that my friend Chris Tahaney is writing. You can write this thing on a napkin, a notebook, and take a picture of it and send it to Chris. He will polish it up. He will send you a copy. You will sign off on it. And if your story is chosen, you might be in this book. We're trying to elevate the industry. Email your story today to mattressrsastories@gmail.com. Do it today and help us elevate our industry. Mattress Retailer Toolkit. This is Jeff's group, and Jeff can make a couple little comments about it when we get done. But guys, I yell at Jeff all the time. This thing should be $4.99 a month, and it's like $99 or $97 a month. It is an amazing group. It's a closed group. There's trainings every month. There are There is so much content and so many ways for you to level up as a store owner. If you are serious about being in the mattress industry, you need to join this group. There's a QR code there that I think you can hit. I think Chris will pull it up in a second. But boy, is this a great group. I'm in the group, and I cannot believe the amount of content that is in this group for you to make you a better store owner, give you perspective, give you strategies, specific techniques, everything you need to know. So join the group today. And I think that's it. Chris, we got anything else? Nope. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks for having me, Pete.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much, Pete, for having us. This is fantastic.
I know. I can't wait to get started. But first of all, Michael Nerman says, hi, Jeff, Brent, and Pete. What a great way to start the week. It is a great way to start the week. I'm with two of my favorite dudes in the whole world. Chris Tahaney says, the evolution of Beadhead has been such a shot in the arm to our business. Our industry is fortunate to have highly skilled geniuses like Brent, Ferg, Brandon, and Steve serving solely mattress and furniture retail. Thank you, fellas, for everything you do to elevate us all. And congrats to the launch of beadheadnetwork.com, the industry's latest invaluable resource. That's awesome.
I love you, Chris. I mean, seriously. I have a $20 next time I see you, my friend. It's not enough, but it's all I have.
Oh, I don't believe that. So here's a little inside baseball for everybody that's watching. Jeff calls me a few years ago. Hey, why didn't you join that group? I didn't join that group because that guy's in the group. He's like, what guy? I go, the guy that with the machine gun, the guy acting crazy. I don't want to be in a group with somebody acting crazy. He goes, that's not the group. That's a completely different group. So I'm giving you Reader's Digest version. This went on for like weeks.
I had to sell you on this.
And months.
Yeah.
And Jeff persistently nudged me, but that was what it finally was. And so I stand corrected. I was completely wrong. I didn't know who owned the group, and I should have joined a long time before I did. So thank you, Jeff, for being persistent.
You're welcome. I'll bring that same persistence to your cell phone update here shortly.
Yeah, I bet you will. The Rotundex writing up a 13K sale and listening in one ear on my AirPod. LOL. Let's go. All right, good. That looked like our friend Tim McDonald. Chris Tahaney, another hour where Jeff G is going to engage in what to him is casual speak. But what we're all going to get is a few mic drop moments, 100%. I'm happy for Jeff. Every single time a retailer tells me how big a difference that Mattress Retailer Toolkit has made for them.
Thanks, Chris.
You owe them $20. You owe them $20. I got a feeling I'm going to owe him $20 before the show's over. So, guys, inside our customers' buying decisions, what do we need to know?
Yeah, I mean, I think where our industry is going and where I've got this horizon of 2030 on my mind, very, very present in the front of my mind of what life, what society, what culture, and really what business is going to look like by the time 2030 rolls around. It sounds cliche, but with the speed of technology changing almost everything, if we don't have that at the forefront of our mind, we're going to be very behind as an industry and as business owners, as store owners. And that's what's in the front of my mind as well as store owners when I speak in this capacity. I'm not your sales training guy, just to clear that up. So Mattress Retailer Toolkit is not for you in that regard. I specifically focus on that independent store owner channel. And what I see is far too many retailers still attempting to do business, catching up to things that were done 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago. And so in the frame of this conversation today, getting inside our customers' buying decisions, everything that we're doing now through the next 4 years and 10 months has to be what positions our store in that stream of consciousness in those places of influence they're going to go, whether that's an AI app on their phone, a new AI connected piece of technology that we have yet to see in our lives, enhancements in technology we're already using, such as maybe in the way a smart TV navigates a click on an ad of something that piques our interest and immediately pipes us in to a funnel, if you will. There's going to be just a tremendous amount of change, and the speed at which it's going to change is really profound. Part of my time on vacation this week was deep diving into where AI is taking our customers and their jobs, and the reality that upwards of 50% of people's jobs are going to be upended is really profound to me. So we could say, well, mattresses are very subjective. They need us to help navigate. Yeah, maybe. But what does that all matter when so many people are going to be so effective? It's just as far as their income goes and ability to come in and spend money with us. And so if we're not focused on getting our store, our information, our uniqueness in front of the customer, and in ways where they're going to jump in front of our advertisement, if we're not in that stream of information and that stream of technology, we're just vastly behind. So that's kind of where I thought I'd start.
That's a lot.
Lot to unpack.
Start unpacking, Brent.
Go ahead.
Start unpacking.
I don't even know where to go. I mean, that's just amazing. I couldn't speak to AI as well as Jeff on some of that stuff. I mean, on that front, I always think there's probably two sides of the coin, and having Jeff with his expertise on AI and setting up businesses and having the toolbox and really leaning into that, I think is so important. And that's why I love hanging out with Jeff, because, people always say, surround yourself with amazing people. And that's what I did. I think that is great. My mind went just a different direction, if that's okay. I don't want to take away from any direction you want to go with this, Pete.
I have no direction I want to go. You guys already know that.
Well, I know
we're gonna go where you guys want to go, and we're gonna go where our audience wants to go.
All right, perfect.
So always do, brother.
So I'm gonna throw here's where I'm at mentally. Right now, you guys in the audience, tell me if I'm wrong or right. I don't know, but Jeff has all this amazing stuff, and I'm like, I'm taking notes here, I'm writing stuff down, and I look over, and I can't even make this up. Like, I get goosebumps. Just so like I ain't making this up. Like, it just blows my mind. All that, and because I remember back when I was in third grade in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, we had this guest speaker. I forgot so much in school, but I remember this, and I might even say this on your show before, Pete. This guy came in, and he's like, the computers are going to change how we do business. When you're in the job market, or when you have a professional job, you're only going to work 20 hours because computers are going to make jobs so much easier. Well, they were right, but I don't work 20 hours. I work 20 hours a week because it's made me more efficient. I actually work more because, and I think AI potentially is going to do that. Again, I am not the expert, but here's where I want to speak to. I'm going to show the other side of that, because right now, when President's Day is 2026, and how do we get to 230? We first got to be successful here. And I still think, and if you look at what really leads into making connection with business and all that AI is important, I saw this on my cup. It said, "For Brent, our friend, here's your coffee." And I'm like, that's amazing, because yesterday I sat for 30 minutes. I'm not making this up. I was typing, I was working, and I was at a different coffee shop in a different town, and no one said hi to me. No one said anything. And when I got to the desk, they said, "What do you want for a coffee?" And I ordered. It was just a different experience. So I think it's going to be this balance of leaning into technology, leaning into AI, but don't forget we're still human and making that connection, because it is so powerful, especially today. If you're listening to this show, it's how do you connect with that person? Use AI to be more efficient, but don't ever forget about pausing, making a connection, and saying hello, being sincere, being in the moment, and really listening to that person. I always think there's going to be a part of that we're always going to need as humans, as in the industry, as shopping for a mattress. I think AI is going to help us get there, shop, and get all this information. But I still think it's that person-to-person connection that's going to make all the difference.
I couldn't agree more, Brent. I love that you shared it. And all of that is something every one of us listening now, picking this up later, can take to heart. You know, that message on your coffee cup there. Those little things matter. They all matter so much, and there are ways to win right now. And if you're not doing them, you should, so handwritten thank you notes, taking that pause, Brett, as you say to often in your presentations, just smiling and saying, I'm so happy you're in my store right now. You've made a great decision today to come spend time with us. And I'm going to work so hard to have this be an incredible experience for you. Those are all things we need to do. And the sad part of it is, with what I see, what's changing is if we don't do that and look ahead, we might not get those opportunities.
Agreed.
And that's what kind of goes back to what I say about how some are operating 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. The speed at which all of this is building momentum, you don't have time to catch up anymore. You have to make this massive, deep commitment to just cut everything you think you know and immediately jump into what you need to have happen in your business, and then build on it, looking ahead to this horizon of 2030 as I'm looking at it.
Just to add on to that real quick, I was exhausted at the end of Thursday night. It was 8-ish, and I had hit 28 stores, traveled a little over 1,000 miles, and I was still an hour and a half from home, but I had to eat, and I had to eat something kind of quick. And so I ate at one of those all-you-can-eat places, and I was so tired that I didn't even think about adding a tip to the thing. So my waiter, who's not really a waiter, he just kind of like a bump and run thing, because this isn't like an all-you-can-eat buffet kind of a deal. He comes over and he introduces himself and he says, my name is blah, 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 and I am here to serve you. Puts his hand over his heart and says, I am here to serve you. Is there anything, sir, that I can get for you? Well, that got him a 20% tip, and he didn't have to do anything, nothing. I went back up. I said, hey, I forgot to add a tip. Can I do 20% on this? Just because he customized, he personalized. It works everywhere. It's so important. Scott Vaughn, I agree 100%, Brett, but I wish you would show a little more enthusiasm when you talk about it.
I know. I'm trying. I'm actually trying to hold it back a little bit, but I get fired up. I love what we do. I love it.
Oh, I love your enthusiasm, brother. Larry Soraka says AI can help with understanding the marketplace and how to shape your offerings and services, and the how you focus your business into service in the marketplace, meeting the customer at the right time with an approach that makes them feel comfortable and confident to do business with you. Yeah, that's huge. And Larry continues, just forward thinking really is impacting how I pivot the direction of my company on the wholesale level. Larry, it's funny that you said that, because I've been thinking about this a lot. And you know what AI does for me? It doesn't automate a lot of things for me. And I really want a personal touch in my business. It's super important. But it frees me up to do the deep dive stuff. Where are we going? What does your business look like in 5 years? What do you want your business to look like in 10 years? What kind of a lifestyle do you want to have, Mr. and Mrs. Store Owner? And how can I help you get there? Those conversations are so important. And sometimes we as reps can't have as many of those conversations as we want to because we're so busy doing this other stuff. Well, the intel that used to take me 6 hours to gain, go on Google, back and forth, websites, social media, I can just put a good prompt into Chat GPT and then another prompt after that, and I'm done. Like, I've got 5 or 6 hours worth of intel right there in a nice little report. Now I have to verify it, right?
Oh yeah.
It's
Well,
kind
you
of
can't
like our
trust but
attitude
verify
towards
with all of
Russia in the Cold War, right? Trust but verify.
Yeah.
Well, and also, Pete, for me, at least 40% of my misspelled words are corrected. You know, like that's huge for
I
me.
love that.
So.
I know.
I'll just to kind of add on to it, and then maybe bring us around to the title of the show inside the customer's buying decisions. This commitment to customer experience, I think, is so profound. At our vacation, I just got back from vacation this week. Jorge Crespo was the head chef for morning breakfast every morning at the hotel. You had nice breakfast, cooked omelets, eggs, any way you want, you name it. This guy was slinging, and I kid you not, anywhere from 8 to 16 orders of eggs and omelets at any given time. He's like just pointing down the line of people, and he's just moving. The guy's just moving you along so efficiently, yet you feel like your order's being made with care. He was fantastic. And then one day he was not there. It was a different person, a woman, and she couldn't handle more than 4 at a time. Now, that's not, I'm not trying to knock one person's skill over the other, but this guy, you could tell, loved his job, loved serving the guests at the hotel. He had music going. He turned down a Limp Bizkit song at one point. I'm like, no, you can keep that up. Let's keep hearing that. And he kind of laughed. He says, yeah, my boss gets a little upset when the music gets too heavy. I'm like, tell him I said it was okay. But you could tell he loved serving. And this is what's going to shine through if we begin to fast forward now 2 years ahead of this conversation. We're in 2027, 2028. More and more customers are coming in. They got more enabled with their device in hand. They've got more answers in hand. And I think there's a dual path here. One is, what have you done in your business through blogs, through proper citations, through proper links, properly aligned information on your website, to where that AI result, whatever app they might be using, is supporting what you're saying, better yet, pointing to your store as the expert locally. But 2, how then do you unplug and go back to that nice handwritten note on coffee, Pete, your waiter that you met after 28 stores, and I get the Jorge Crespo experience for my omelet instead of, I think her name was Linda, instead of Linda's obviously overwhelmed experience to the point where when that 5th order got spoke to her, she literally had to walk off and take a break. I think customer experience is going to be so profound. It'll be that breath of fresh air. It'll be like that blue pill or red pill in the Matrix, rather. And when we can build on that while simultaneously playing the game to still be the trusted source, to still be the place where no matter what search engine people use, and I'm using search engine as a broad term, search engine being local referral groups on Facebook, friends and family coworkers, an AI app, Google. If we're not working diligently to be front of mind and recommendation on all those resources, we're so far behind. And we still got to be committed to the experience. Success in the next 4 years is not going to be an either or. It's going to be a both and mix of things. It's going to be all the things stacking and. I don't think we're going to be able to cut anything. We have to build on each one so profoundly and so expertly that to be successful, that's going to be one of the many keys to success.
Well, I think you're right. What I wrote down, Jeff, and what I think is so neat or unique about us being able to have this conversation is because what word I would use is balance. There has to be a balance of how you lean into the future of AI and all things technology. You have to. There's no question. At the same time, lean into taking that next customer, having that great customer experience, and having that balance. I think that's going to be the challenge, because maybe before you could kind of lean a little bit more into just making that connection, or maybe you kind of leaned into advertisement and all that stuff. But now we're at a point where we have to be proficient at both to really be successful in that front.
Yeah.
And I'll even take it one step further. If you look at, last week I had, at conference, I should say, I had a chance to run into Gary Fazio. And to me, Gary Fazio was such an amazing mentor. When I had time with him, and what he said meant so much to me. And he was probably one of the most successful people in our industry. And I just sent a shout out on social media saying, Gary, I appreciate you. It was great running into you. And the one that I remember about Gary is his personal handwritten notes. I mean, think about how busy he is, but somebody said he wrote 30,000 notes. And then if you look at the chat, go to the chat, and you see all these people saying it meant so much to me. And so it's like, to me, I get stuck here, and please help me out, audience, because AI is important, all that stuff, but man, that personal note and having that connection makes all the difference. And we always say we want to elevate our industry. And I'm not smart enough to maybe do a lot of things, but what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to make sure I tell everyone that I work with how much I appreciate them. And I'm going to go out and try to write at least 3 or 4 handwritten notes a week, somehow, somewhere, because if we can elevate that person and get them to believe in themselves and show them what they're great at, and if everyone did that, could you imagine if the entire industry said, you know what, I'm going to tell people how much I appreciate it. I'm not just going to say it, but I'm going to find out exactly what they're doing well so they can duplicate that process. If we all did that, we would increase just a little bit, and a little bit to the entire industry, and that would overflow to the customers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't speak to Gary's system. I can speak to the fact that I was a recipient of a handwritten thank you note from him years ago after a betting conference presentation I gave. It still sits at home in my desk drawer. But that's the thing, whatever system he has one. I would imagine the stationery that I got has evolved over time. I'd imagine some of that stationery sits in his backpack, his briefcase he carries around on his desk. And when he's waiting at an airport or carves out time to write it, he's created a system. That's what I would urge other retailers to do. Create your own system. There's so many technological abilities nowadays. For us, it's all out of our point of sale into our CRM. We've got a little subsystem that basically tasks someone in our company to print the mailing labels every week. That person then prints them out, divides them out by RSA, puts them on the postcard that we then hand write out our thank you message on. And that's the system. And it gets done strategically every week. And I can look in each RSA's mailbox. I can look and see, are they getting backed up or are they staying ahead? If there's nothing in there, that's actually when I found the system kind of breaks. If there's nothing in there, it's like, well, why isn't there anything in there? And that's our little system for it. And it works very efficiently for us. And so that would be my challenge for anybody in this moment of the show, to develop your own little system. And it could be something as simple as just having your own stationery, so it's present where you work in your day, and it's a constant reminder to make that happen and get it done.
100%. One of the old technology, old time sales rep, my friend David Golden, I pray to God that he's still alive. He might have passed. David started he single-handedly started the Sealy Wars of the 80s, Jeff.
I've heard about these wars.
I lived through them. I sold a $5.99 Posturepedic, and I lost the sale because it was $4.49 somewhere else, and we went price match it. Came out of a different factory. So our stuff came out of Medina. That came out of Clarion, PA. So our friend David had 3 states for Ernie Williger. And he told me that if you asked any one of his customers, what sales rep do you see the most? Everybody would say David Golden. He goes, Pete, it was a lie. He goes, there's no way. He goes, I saw everybody every 8 to 12 weeks. He goes, but what I did every night when I got to my hotel room, I had my stationery, I had my envelopes, and I even had postage with me. And before I went to bed, I wrote a personal thank you for seeing me. And I wrote down all the points that we agreed to. And then I followed up with a couple of phone calls in between, and then I'd see him again. But because of those different ways of touching, that was the perception. And so we have to ask ourselves, how are we touching our customer? Which ways are we using? And, how do we use this technology to help us touch our customer as opposed to, almost walking away and just automating it? And some things can and should be automated, and other touches need to be very, very customized, very personalized. So thank you. Hey, Kristen Sugar says, I just met Brent at Market. He is one of the most personable people I've ever met. Loved hearing his journey, which is why the relationship part of what he is saying is so believable and a great point. Absolutely. Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you, Kristen, so much. And I am going to reach out to you. I want to just connect and hear and talk shop and learn from you. So much knowledge. And I definitely want to hear more of your knowledge and all that good stuff. So thank you.
Jeff, what do we
I gave Kristen Sugar, or Sugar as she's known to some, the weirdest mattress PO ever. About $300 worth of boxer briefs from Caraloha, because as I lost weight, I needed to update my wardrobe, and I love their boxers. I love their products. They make great stuff. But I literally sent her an email with a PO that said weirdest mattress PO ever.
You do make great products. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel terrible. I don't have any, but Jeff, I trust you.
Yeah. But Brent, I'm interested to hear this from you, if I may ask a question. Is that all right with you, Pete?
Absolutely.
So let's chew on this one for a little bit. Where do you think the customer's buying decision actually starts? Or where can it start?
Well, I think where it starts is social media or some type of media. It can be their webpage, it can be social media. There's a little bit of stats on both, but their journey, we used to call it, first impression zone, was like, yeah, make sure you do a great first impression zone when they walk in your store. Well, that's probably the third or fourth impression zone. So I think social media and some type of electronic communication in our advertisement.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree. I remember years ago, this goes back a number of years now. We had a customer buy from us. I forget what it was. Might've been an heirloom piece. It was a higher end piece. And then got really upset that we ran an ad. It was discounts on floor models, and was really disappointed that we would advertise that way, because he didn't think we were that kind of a discounter type retailer. He looked at our store as buying a premium product, a premium service, premium experience. And then here we are talking about discounted service. And that's always stuck with me about that, as you call it, the impression zone. Mm-hmm. Of course, we had to clarify, okay, what we're promoting here, we do very rarely. It's not our everyday type of messaging, but it is something we need to do from time to time, because it's that time of year where we have to update floor models. Now, if you're wanting to have a different discussion about what you invested in versus what we have available at this level, we're happy to have that conversation. But what you purchased is just not something we have on closeout at the moment. But it wasn't that. It was just, I really kind of felt betrayed, because I got to know you as somebody that sells better sleep education, guidance, and experience. And then here you are, kind of like as, the huckster, if you will, doing discounts.
Yeah.
So that's always stuck with me, that the opportunity to meet and get involved with a customer and their decision is so much more further in advance of where we might think it is. And I think that goes back to where I let off of, we have to be so focused on kind of jumping the gun, if you will, to where our customers can meet us, which is, it's fragmented more than ever. Like I routinely find myself picking up on conversations with somebody. Oh, that conversation was in social media, DM. This one was in text. This one was in email. This one was in a voicemail, right? It doesn't mean I get to drop the ball. It just means I have to pay attention to more places. We have to do that as retailers. All these different places our customers can begin a buying decision with our store.
Agreed. And one thing I was going to say that I think is real important, and this, to me, if I was in the showroom right now, right today, this would, I think, could benefit everyone with that next customer you're going to take, because you're right. It can be fragmented, it can be anywhere, but here's what I do know. Whatever that outside message is, and wherever they see that on social media, and hopefully they're all aligned and not giving different messages, our energy and passion have to match. So if we used to call the front door the first impression zone and be excited, hey, welcome in. Well, we have to still do that, but we have to match whatever that messaging is. So if they see it on social media and they come in because today's the President's Day sale and we don't mention the President's Day sale, or we have great financing because of the President's Day sale, or we just have the most amazing selection of mattresses, whatever that is, if we don't match that, that trust is broken, because they're coming in with a certain message and an expectation of like, I want to see this. And if we break that, it makes our job harder. So what if I was right now and I didn't have a customer and I was in your store, one thing I would highly encourage us to do is go look and what is on your social media. So when the customer comes in, you're like, welcome to Pete's Mattress Store. And they're like, and we have one of the best sales going on right now. I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to get you taken care of. And they go, you have a President's Day sale? What's that? And you go, oh my God, you are so lucky. You came in at the great time. And then whatever that is, make sure you duplicate that. But I'm telling you, that makes your job so much easier, because the sale is won or lost in the first 2 minutes, 80% of the time.
Yeah, it's lost before that. Sometimes it becomes such an uphill battle. You know, one of the things when I was at Jeff's store in December, and, you know, the front door and the website match exactly to a T. I mean, I could have drawn it for you from being on his website. And that is so important. And those clips that we use in social media, they need to match exactly, because once they walk through the front door, now it's in our salesman's hands, but it has to be consistent. And, you know, we've been saying the front door is your website. Front door could be your website, might be social media, might be the first Facebook post she sees, might be the first Instagram post that she sees. Jeff, that wouldn't apply for your store. But Google is now what the yellow pages used to be, right?
100%.
People used to go through the yellow pages. Like when I was a baby Serta rep in 1991, we wanted to own the yellow pages, and we would co-op the yellow pages at a higher rate than any other name brand, because we knew that was a key to our success, that often customers would just go to the yellow pages. So here's my question to my fellow store owners that are watching this. How much time and energy have you invested in your Google profile? And is it fully optimized? And if it's not, join MRT and learn how to do it.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great place to start as an owner. I think, you know, for me, listening to you guys talk the last couple of minutes, we have to not only control our quote unquote front door, you know, put that in air quotes, figuratively speaking. We have to, again, be paying attention to where that front door creates itself out there in the ether of technology and where technology is going.
Yep.
We don't get to control search. We don't get to control result, but we do get to control the input of what those things might spit out the other side, right? Meaning, as Pete, as you said, how well is your Google business profile page updated? You know, I have a weekly reminder in my calendar to add new photos. The question thing is gone. They took that away in favor of AI. Okay. So that's gone, which really kind of sucks in my opinion, but such as it is. But it's more to my point that I'm making here about, well, where does your front door exist and how many front doors exist for your business? And do you control all of them? So whereas that question was a front door to the business, if you will, because I used to put our own questions in with our own answers because the questions were phrased in a keyword search way. Well, now that front door is gone. Now Google's AI controls that front door with the Q&A part on the Google Business Profile page. And I don't get to control that anymore. And that's what I'm kind of trying to refer to here is we have to be constantly studying where these front doors create themselves, have everything line up, and still deliver on this incredible experience. It's only getting harder, right? Technology always promised us. I think, Brent, you were making this point. Technology promised us an easier life.
Yes.
It's not. It's a more fragmented life. But if we accept that, now it's on us to control as much of it as we can.
You know, I was just thinking of one of the best front doors that we don't use enough, and that's the referral front door. Because the referral front door, when it's used, results in bigger sales, a higher closing percentage. Referrals always buy at a much higher closing rate, buy usually a higher average ticket. They're usually more profitable. And here's the best part. This is the best part. This is the multiplier. This is the business multiplier everybody misses. And Jeff, you've been the one pointing this out. You've been the Pied Piper on this for over 10, 15 years. They refer at a much higher rate than a regular customer. That is the most beautiful thing about referrals and using that as a front door.
So, Pete, I got two things here, and I'm a broken record. I only have like 2 or 3 things that, in my bag of sales here, but here's the deal. Like right now, if you're on the sales floor, and I think of this, and I've said this last time, I apologize. I don't have new material, but I know this works. Today's one of the biggest sales of the year, top 5, top 6, whatever you want to call it, but it's a major holiday for us. So how many times when your customer buys, and they're buying from you because they like you, I promise you they're not buying because they think they can get a better deal across the street and they didn't appreciate your service and thinking that you can take care of them. So why not give them 3 business cards? And I say this every time. Today's a perfect day to give every one of your customers 3 business cards. One business card to put between their mattress and box spring, buy all their money. It's a little joke. They'll have fun. You can laugh at it. And then have them put 2 other of your business cards in their billfold. So if they're ever out and about and any of their friends, family, anywhere says, I'm not sleeping good, would you mind handing them one of my business cards and I'll get them personally taken care of? It works. It's inexpensive. It's so simple. I think most people's like, I like the idea. I'm telling you, if your store wants more traffic, maybe you have too much traffic. I don't know, but if you want more traffic, I would do that right now.
Yep.
I love that, Brent. I've heard it a couple times from you.
I know.
I never tire of it. No, listen, this is blocking and tackling. And all those world championships the Green Bay Packers were won by blocking and tackling. But there's a piece to this that's super important. And I feel like this is like one of our Saturday phone calls.
Yeah.
So this is kind of really cool what we're doing right now. So you have to be confident in yourself as a sales pro. And when you're a sales pro, you don't sheepishly hand them the 3 business cards and go from one foot to the other, hemming and hawing. You make your joke about putting the one in between. And if anybody needs a mattress, I promise you, I will treat them with the same respect and dignity that I treated you.
Beautiful said. Yes.
And that's it. That's how a confident salesperson talks. So level up, brothers.
100%. And the other thing we're talking about, and talking about the front door and all that good stuff. Again, love it. I'm going to go back a couple years ago. I took over a market, had 0 advertisement, just what it was. Our store average was, I don't know if I can say, but it was below, I think, $40,000 a month. And we had no advertisement budget, but I did find, and I got a picture I looked at. I found signs, and I found sale, and queen pillow top $299, and I had that message $299, $299, $299 all over my store. And I say that because I did some traveling this weekend, and I was driving around, and I saw a couple mattress stores. I took photos and I sent it to some of the old school individuals I worked with. I'm like, No $2.99 pillow top. No consistent message. No same message 3 in a row, and they're on a busy road. They had these signs that were like this big, and I had to literally like zoom in to show them what they were taking. I won't show those photos. I won't. But they were a small retailer. But I would blast $2.99 pillow top, and I would just own that because so many people are like, it's good, it's important, but we got some other beds. I would own every mattress under $1,000 and be like, we have the best deal in town. And obviously show them Tempur-Pedic and all those other great mattresses, but there's another item that I would do 100%. Sorry, I rambled there.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think the point is, no matter the level you fill in the market, where your store exists in the market, the point is doing the little things consistently. The business card thing, right? Fantastic. We do that amongst many other things, and we execute on those things, and we make systems out of those things. I've helped many people. I'll leave names out, but I've helped people. They reach out. I'm struggling. They might be MRT members. They might not be. I'm always happy to give back to this industry. And my first questions are, what have you been doing? Your biggest opportunity for traffic and getting more buyers is in the people who've already bought from you. So do they know what you have? Do they know what's coming up? Do they know you've got a sale going on? Do you know that's your anniversary? Have you called them to ask for feedback? Are they loving their product? Yes. Great opportunity for referrals. Great opportunity for repeat. Do they likely live in homes with at least 1, 2, 3, or 4 other bedrooms? Can you serve their needs there? If you've got floor models to clear out, get calling those customers that have bought from you. Hopefully, you know what they've bought and you can make calls. If you've got floor models to clear out, queens and fulls and twins, talk to them about guest bedrooms, people who've bought master from you. If you've got guest bedroom people and they haven't bought a master from you, reach out to them about great vendor savings that are going on. There's all different ways that you can go after this. But the shame of it is when your customer list doesn't know what you've got going on, that's a crying shame. Again, speaking to technology, thanks, Randy. Appreciate that. Randy Johnson's talking about one of our MRT tools, our come in cash. Comeback cash is just a great tool. Again, it's a little simple tool that just works in this age of fancy technology, which I love and loathe all at the same time. Sometimes the simplest things work, like business cards, like $2.99 pillow top signs. These little things work, but the consistency and the implementation behind it matters. To my point, I'll wrap up on, if your customer list doesn't know what you've got going on, that's not your customer's fault. That's your fault. Shame on you. And I'll just say it that way. Shame on you as a store owner. You don't get an excuse. You don't get any reprieve from me. Shame on you, because you have the ability to have gotten all of their information. You have the ability to have a MailChimp account, a text account with Twilio, or any of these software tools that exist to communicate with your customer. Shame on you in this day and age. There's just this time, I say it harshly, there's no more passes given going forward. None. Your customer is passing you by. And the simple reality is that when I see, again, this was shared out in, I forget where again, to the point of fragmented, was this a DM? Was this on Facebook? Was this on LinkedIn? I don't know. But like when your customer reaches out and says, hey, I'd like to buy this. I don't know if you have it on sale, but the D2C partner has it on sale. If I can get from you, that'd be great. And you make the sale. Yeah, that's nice. You made the sale, but that shows me as a store owner, there's so much more to do. So much more opportunity for you as a store owner to be out there in front of your customers. Why abdicate your relationship through the product? Your relationship is through your store. If your relationship is just through the product, you don't have a customer. You were a toll booth. That's all you were. You were Willie the toll booth collector, like the old Adam Sandler tape. I think that was boy, I'm dating myself there. But toll booth
that was bound to happen. Don't be a toll booth.
Right. But I hope you hear my point there. If your relationship with your customer is simply through product and they're out there in the ether looking at the product's website, you don't have a relationship with that customer. You were just in a toll booth position.
Doug Krinsky's got a question. Jeff, can you take a minute to explain all MRT is to everyone? You can't do it in a minute, but you can have the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not going to take the next 10 minutes. That would take us to the end of our show. No, I mean, Mattress Retailer Toolkit, we're a company that pours into store owners to help you, where it's over my shoulder here, get more sales, get bigger tickets, and have a better customer experience. We have two events each month, live events where we gather on Zoom, and I'll lead a training. Sometimes it's very tactical. Go copy this. Our whole community at this point, which is going to turn 2 years old in April, is chock full of these consistent things that you can do. So we're shifting gears from copy to strategy. Again, eyeing what the next 4.5 years is going to look like as we roll into 2030. Because I firmly believe if we don't get more store owners on this mindset of leveling up their business, doing these both and things that we've been talking about here, we're going to have less independent store owners out there. That's just the sad reality of it. Again, if your relationship's about product and not about your relationship impacting your customer's life through the power of better sleep, if that's not the relationship you hold and have, you're going to be left behind. And so with Mattress Retailer Toolkit, we gather twice a month, lead great trainings. I bring great guest experts. I brought the Savannah Bananas founder, Jesse Cole, to our industry back in December, kind of as a gift to our industry. And that was an investment we made. Our guest for January was Dr. Mark Lund, who was personal friends with Hersh Schultz, the founder of Ritz-Carlton Hotels. So if you're, this whole experience thing I talk about often, I'm kind of connected to people that know experience. And so, I dig into the Rolodex for some of those guest calls, and then our trainings are meant to help you level up your business and get better faster, and more sales, bigger tickets, better experience.
I just want to add one thing.
There it is.
I love that.
Yep.
Chris, you're the best. Anyone that needs a podcast producer, you guys got to look up Chris Stone. Really quickly, I'm gonna just pivot here, and I'm gonna show you this. You see this, Jeff?
Oh man!
So, ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Giagnocavo has been bleeding his lifeblood into this industry for at least 15 or 20 years that I know of. He has continued to evolve his store, and has continued to evolve, and he's given you a playbook that is so invaluable. You have no idea what this man has put into it, and you're getting it for $97 a month. That's like a bad joke. I mean, anybody that's not in this, you're not serious about being in the mattress business. I'm sorry. And Doug Krinsky, thank you for asking that question, Doug. That means a lot to me that you highlighted that and you brought that up. That was very nice. Brent, I've got something for you. What are you going to be doing on Wednesday, brother?
I get a chance to go to Tupelo Market, Furniture Market, and we have for all retailers in the Capital Bedding showroom. I have it here. The exact number, it's going to be building 5 space 5052. For all retailers, it's free. I'm going to spend about an hour or less, and we're going to talk about how to win at retail and how to win today. We're just finished up a major holiday, and we got summer selling season's less than 90 days away. So we're going to talk about how we can maximize the customer's experience, win the customer over in the first 2 minutes, and we may talk a little bit about bundling the sale.
Awesome. Congratulations on that speaking gig. And anybody in Tupelo, look up Brent. I'm going to tell you guys something. I just love hanging around with this dude just to draft off of his energy, man. It's beautiful.
Are you going to Tupelo, Pete?
I am not.
Will you be there, Jeff?
I have. Yeah. Tupelo Furniture Market is a fun market. It's one of those things. People, my fellow reps at the time up here in the Northeast were like, why are you going to Tupelo? Like, well, Corsicana, when I was a Corsicana rep back in the day, I mean, this goes back almost 20 years now. But I said, they would appreciate help. It's a very busy market for them. I do have 1 or 2 of my customers that go. I always made, hey, I always made money there. I showed up, I found new customers there. I picked up a couple lines there when I was a rep that, didn't last a long time, but served their purpose. And, it was one of those things where I went to where the buyers were, and there weren't many, but the quality was there, for me. And, Tupelo market was a fun market. Good memories with Carol Moran there, rest his soul, taking us out to dinner at some backwoods hunt and fish club thing for a catfish fry dinner. That was just incredible.
Good.
It was great. Yeah, really great.
Well, I'm excited to be there. It's my first time in Tupelo and first time in the market. So please come say hi. I would love to meet some old friends and make new friends.
Awesome. So guys, got a few minutes left. Was there a question I should have asked that I didn't? A question that I should have asked, but I didn't.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I will talk. Yes, Pete, you should have asked Jeff, what do you got going on in April of this year?
Jeff, what do you have going on in April?
Yeah. So, we are going to be celebrating 2 years of Mattress Retailer Toolkit. Toolkit is the most recent evolution. Pete, that was funny, the throwback you held up from June of 2014 from our newsletter. April will be 2 years anniversary of launching Mattress Retailer Toolkit. We just came off a great event, which is, what brought us all three here together today in Las Vegas, our MRT boardroom dinner. That was really a plant in the flag moment of us kind of getting events back under our belt, so to say. We do events differently, as is most things that I do. And we brought together really interesting people. I thought very intentionally about the conversation we would have, the types of questions that I would ask, the kind of mind share that I would get going, the people assembled at the tables. I couldn't really control who decided to come and join us. Obviously, independent store owners was the key focus. But we had a number of great other industry folks in the room. And then I sat and literally for about 50 minutes before the event in the afternoon, and I literally played Tetris with all the badges. And I'm like, who can I assemble here at this table, and who's going to get the most at that table? And it was just all for the best mind share, the best energy creation possible. And that's what we put into our thoughts on events. So in April, it'll be April 22nd and 23rd here in Lancaster at Gardner's. We're going to host our first in-person event in 10 years called the MRT Profit Lab, the Decision Experience, which is all about, encapsulating some of what we've talked about here, but then really expanding more about tilting that market in your favor, both across in-person interactions, referral interactions, things you can do online and with technology to have that buyer show up ready to buy from you. Remove that toll booth position where you just own the super highway that is the relationship.
So Jeff, MRT Profit Lab in April. How do people sign up? They say, hey, that sounds great, I want to go.
Yeah.
What do they do next?
Yeah, right now, reach out, just shoot me a message right now. This week, later this week, early next, we're going to get a page up on our site for you to formally sign up. But in the meantime, you can connect with me directly on, any one of the socials that are out there, and I'll get you queued up for it.
Awesome.
It's great.
Brent, you got anything I should have asked you?
What's one thing that you hope every manager does this week? Well, that's a great question, Pete. I appreciate you asking me that. From the yesterday, I had a true mentor pass, Dr. Timothy Clipson, and I was at his celebration of a funeral, but he wanted a celebration of life, and that's who he was. And the one thing that stood out to me, and it was a ballroom, it was at Stephen F. Austin. There was hundreds of people there, and there was this common theme. I mean, he was an amazing individual, but all these people that spoke and everyone that I had a chance to say hello to, we all had the same message: is Tim did such a great job of making us feel important. And because of that, we tried to live up to that full potential of what we could do. And that's how he is remembered by. And it to me is like, man, I need to do a better job of that. And I hope that everyone that you get a chance to coach, mentor, do one-on-ones, pause and let that person know their full potential, and believe in them, because they'll continue to do amazing things.
That's awesome. That is a great thought to end our time today, guys. This was a great show. Thank you so much. But I have to thank Ferg, Brandon, Grandpa Fun, that's Glenn, RJ, Chris Tahaney, Pascal, Kristen Sugar, Scott Vaughn, Michael Nerman, Larry Soraka, Doug Krinsky, and Randy Johnson. Guys, this was an incredible show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Good to hang out with you guys.
Jeff, thank you so much for everything.
Everybody have fun and sell a million. If you're going to Tupelo, look Brent up in space 5052. Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate you.
Thanks, y'all.